In today's episode, John asks, I see you have a massive amount of followers. I was wondering, how did you do this? Um, well, so there's an expression in the martial arts that explains a lot of this. And yeah, I learned it from one of my teachers, Ken Savage from the Winchendon Martial Arts Center, who said, energy flows where attention goes. You direct somebody's attention somewhere, and their energy goes with it. And the same is true for groups of people as well. If you can catch somebody's attention, you can direct it. And where you have attention, you direct their energy, which may be things like getting them to follow you, getting them to sign up for things. Eventually, ideally, some percentage of people, you can get them to buy something. And for those people who won't buy something, you get them to be evangelists to talk to other people to get them to buy something. But there are two questions. Number one, how do you catch attention, and how do you keep it? Now, I'll tell you that one of the, quote, secrets of keeping attention that I've used for a decade now. Oh, wow, it's been a decade. Has been an email newsletter. I send out a weekly email newsletter that just offers perspectives and recaps a lot of the important stuff that happened during the week. Being able to do that allows me to provide value. Now, here's the shift in mindset that I want you to make. Stop thinking about followers and start thinking about community. It's a change in your mental thinking. Hit the delete key on the word followers and type over that the word community, because what you want is not a mindless clustering of people just passively sitting around. What you want are people who are in your corner. You want people who are supportive of you. You want people who are supportive of your brand, of your company. If somebody says something negative about your company, you want those people to be the first ones jumping in, with their gloves on, ready to throw down a little bit. But you can only get that through community. You can't get that through passive followership. And there's a framework for building community that works really well. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But it works really well for getting people to unite around a common interest. So let's go ahead and put this up here. This is the 9C Framework of Effective Community Management. There's a PDF that you can download. I'll put a link in the notes below that you can grab the PDF from. Nope, you don't need to fill out a form. Just grab it off the website. But the pieces are all about the things that you do for your community. You have to give first a lot in order to eventually get. So you have to put that in your head too. Anytime you're talking about growing an audience, whether it's followers, whether it's a community, whether it's an audience, you have to give way more than you take. So what do you have to give? You have to give content. What stuff is valuable? What would legitimately help people and probably won't even benefit you, right? You have to share stuff, give stuff, create stuff for people, like this framework, right? Giving this away, just giving it to the world. You have to engender conversation. You have to stimulate conversation. Your community has to have a common interest of some kind. So the Slack group that I run with the rest of the Trust Insights team, we call it Analytics for Marketers, because it's for people who are interested in this, have this common interest. There has to be something greater than you as the common interest. It's fine for them to want to talk to you, but there has to be more to it than that, than just the common interest. You have to care, which is hard if you don't like people. Believe me, I know. But you do have to care about your community, and it's easier when you have a common interest. It's easier when you have conversations with people, because you do develop relationships with those people, and that's your community, your tribe. Those are your folks. And the way I feel about it is like I love my community. The rest of the world can go burn. You have to create connection within your community. So the really important thing to do is to have to be the hub and broker connections between community members. To say, hey, Bob over here was looking for some help with email marketing, and Sarita over here, she's an outstanding email marketer. Let's make sure that the two of them are connected so that people know who they are. You need to have control over your community in the sense of providing guidelines and guardrails, keeping people from behaving badly. A real simple example, you just got to knock out the spammers. There's going to be folks who are going to rush in, and the first thing you do is post long diatribes about themselves or promotional stuff, and just got to get out the band hammer and knock them out. You need to have a community platform that allows you to reach people in an unfiltered way. So a concourse. One of the reasons why we use Slack is because we tried Facebook groups. It didn't work. Facebook's algorithm throttled so much that people never saw anything we posted, which was terrible. So out with Facebook, in with Slack. And your platform can change. If you're targeting a certain demographic, the gaming demographic, you'd better be building on Discord, because that's where people are. If you are, if you have a group of people who are super privacy minded, maybe build on Mastodon or Telegram or something. But you need a good concourse. You need to be able to cue people, to remind them, to gently prompt them to participate. So whatever tool you choose needs to be able to reactivate people. And of course, you need to be able to measure your community, measure the health of your community, see how it's going, getting analytics for your community. If you do all these things, but predominantly give value, start conversations, and care about people in your community, you will grow it. It will take time. You can accelerate the initial capture of attention with things like advertising dollars and public relations campaigns and evangelists and influencers and all that stuff. But you still need to be very patient, because it will take a long, long time to grow a community. I have, I think, 27,000 followers on LinkedIn now. I have almost 100,000 on Twitter. This is after the result of a decade, right? So it is not overnight, hey, it's a great success. No, this is, what is the expression, 10-year overnight success? Yeah. So be prepared to invest for the very long term for building a community. And here's the other thing, and we're going to have some research from Trusted Insights real soon, probably tomorrow, about this. But you don't need a ton. Unless you are like Walmart, you don't need a ton of people in your community. You don't need millions of people to be influential, to achieve your business goals. You need the right people, and maybe a couple thousand at most to really get rolling. Because as long as you've got that common interest and you serve that common interest well, you will find that there will be plenty of people who want to work with you in some fashion. So it doesn't take much. So how do you do it? You give way more than you take, and you do it for a really long time. No easy answers, no shortcuts, unfortunately. That's just the way it is if you want something that is sustainable, that will work for you in the long term. So great question. I hope that you take away, remove the word followers and replace it with the word community, and you will be in a much better headspace for building for the sustainable future. As always, please leave your comments in the comments below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.